Boxing Truth here. I got a request to do a video about Felix Verdejo. I was thinking about doing a video about him anyway, so I might as well bang this one out. And I recently just watched Verdejo's last fight, and it was another trash performance by Felix Verdejo. Felix Verdejo continues to look like complete trash as his career progresses, as he's already the number one contender for the WO strap in the lightweight division, but top ranking. And their matchmaker is going to have to play it very safe. They're going to have to be very careful who they match Felix Verdejo from here on out. And they're going to have to figure out what the fuck is wrong with him. Because right now, he is not looking very good at all. And you can arguably say that he lost his last fight to Oliver Flores. I recently watched a fight. It was another pedestrian performance. And Verdejo, from what I can see, I don't know what's going on with him personally. I don't know what's going on outside the ring. I understand he's coming off the motorcycle accident, some inactivity, but he was looking like trash even before the accident. He was having pedestrian type performances, wasn't looking good, wasn't looking spectacular like he was earlier in his career, wasn't producing the type of highlight knockouts that he was early in his career. And it's been going on ever since he was featured on HBO. He hasn't really had any impressive performances. No devastating knockouts on that platform. And he's going 10 rounds. He's going the distance and struggling in showcase fights. And this was a fight, a get-back opponent, Oliver Flores, a safe opponent that Top Ranks matchmakers handpicked for him to look good. And he was the type of opponent, Flores, that Verdejo should have looked good. He was a straight up and down, basic southpaw fighter, wide open for jabs, wide open to the body, wide open with the straight right hand. And Verdejo couldn't do shit to him. It was pathetic watching Verdejo trying to land punches on him. I mean, he was just not convicting with his punches. From what I see, it's a mental issue. He's just not performing. He's just not convicting with his punches, not stepping into his shots, not even trying to land anything of significance on his opponent. And in the fight, he was having trouble landing any significant shots. A lot of his shots were not effective. He was just basically hitting Flores' arms most of the night. Didn't really land any good punches, no good combinations. And the fight was hard to score the first 7 rounds because a whole lot of nothing happened. There was a few rounds in the fight, maybe 3 or 4, where absolutely nothing fucking happened. There was a lot of posing from the two fighters. They were just looking at each other, bouncing on their toes. Not many punches thrown, and very few punches landed. And who the fuck do you give that round to? There was a lot of rounds in the fight that were like that. The first 7 rounds was a difficult fight to score because Flores, he really could have had this fight in the bag, or like he really could have took this fight over had he pushed on the gas pedal. But for some strange reason, the first 7 rounds, he wasn't really letting his hands go. Verdejo was bouncing on his toes. He was a little more active, throwing more punches, but he wasn't doing shit to Flores. He wasn't landing anything. There was nothing impressive about Verdejo's punches, mostly hitting Flores' arms and just going through the motions, another pedestrian type performance. And then the last 3 rounds came, 8, 9, and 10. And Flores was whipping Verdejo's ass, was walking him down, was beating him up, was consistently landing the left hand. He was the more confident fighter in this fight. He was the guy that looked like he was the star in the making, not the opponent. He was the guy that was pushing the pace, the ring general, landing the more significant, effective shots. And Verdejo was getting his ass whooped the last 3 rounds, was actually struggling and losing to some hand-picked opponent. Embarrassing. And this has got to be confusing for Top Ranks matchmakers. They don't know what the fuck's going on. This was supposed to be a safe opponent for Verdejo to look good, and Verdejo looked like complete trash and arguably lost the fight to a hand-picked opponent. Now, of course, because of politics of boxing, because Flores is just an opponent, Flores knew he won the fight. Flores' team, after the fight was over, They knew they won, but they knew damn well they weren't going to get the decision, especially not on Verdejo's home soil. Verdejo's being pushed as the next Puerto Rican star. He's the top-ranked guy. So they knew they weren't going to get the decision. And of course, the scorecards were pretty much predetermined, 98, 91, two of them in Verdejo's favor. And the third judge actually scored it the most accurate scorecard of the night was 96-94 in favor of Verdejo. Honestly, I had it a very close fight. I scored it a draw, but if you had to twist my arm of who won the fight, it was Flores. He was the only one that did anything of significance in the fight. Was the only one who landed any significant punches or any eye-catching punches in the fight. Nothing Verdejo did was impressive. He couldn't do shit to Flores. Couldn't land any combinations. Couldn't land any big punches. Very few and far in between. And it's just another poor performance by Verdejo. Now, Verdejo, he ain't ready for no lightweight champions right now. He ain't beating none of those guys. This guy won't even beat a lot of top 10 contenders. Peter Petrov would whip his ass. Ray Beltran would destroy Felix Verdejo based on that last performance. He ain't gonna beat Flanagan. No fucking way. And he's the number one contender, but he still needs some more development. But for some reason, Verdejo's development process has completely stagnated. They're going to have to match him very careful. Honestly, he lost that fight. It was just a bunch of rounds with a lot of nothing happened. I mean, there was really no way you could determine who won 3 or 4 rounds in that fight. A lot of even rounds, but Flores was the one who only did anything of significance, and he pretty much got jobbed, but he already knew that he wasn't going to get the decision. The politics of boxing are not going to allow an opponent like Flores to get a victory over a potential star who's going to make money for the promoters that he's involved with in Top Rank. Verdejo, he's definitely a great prospect. He was showing a lot of good signs early on. He gave Lomachenko a competitive fight in the Olympics. He's got a great smile. He's a marketable guy. He's promotable. I understand why Top Rank is pushing him, because this guy could potentially be a big draw in the States around New York, similar to the way Top Rank built Cotto up in the beginning of his career. But he's not progressing like Miguel Cotto was. He's nowhere near the level of a Felix Trinidad. Trinidad was already champion at 20 years old. Miguel Cotto was showing a lot more promise during his development stages as a prospect. And Verdejo, he's struggling in showcase fights and arguably got beat by a hand-picked opponent in his last fight. Very embarrassing performance, getting booed on his own home soil. Couldn't do shit to this guy. And who knows what Top Rank's going to do next. I mean, they're going to look at that tape. They're going to be like, yo, what the fuck are we going to do? This guy couldn't even do shit to this hand-picked guy. Who are we going to put him in with next? They got to be very careful for Verdejo's next fight. They're going to have to figure out what's wrong with him. Something going on outside the ring. Some personal issues. They maybe going to have to bring someone outside his training camp. Maybe get him outside of Puerto Rico. Maybe train somewhere else. Get a second opinion. Get a second voice in there. Get some more competitive spars, perhaps to get him back to where he was before. He's just showing no confidence in his punches. He's not convicting. He's not showing much conviction with his punches. He's not stepping into his shots. It's not there. He's just not performing. But we'll see where Verdejo and the Top Ranks matchmakers go from here. They gotta figure out what they're gonna do with him. But it's definitely not gonna be a world title shot, because Verdejo is just simply not ready for it. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.